Stay out.
Come play with us, Daddy. Yeah. 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 Over. 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 Yeah.
I wish we could stay here forever and ever.
Is there something bad here? Tony, I'm scared. Play with us, Daddy. Play with us, Daddy. Play with us, Daddy. Play with us, Daddy. Play with us, Daddy.
All the dragons and the
Play with us, Daddy.
all the dragons and the
Play with us, Daddy.
all the dragons and the
Play with us, Daddy.
all the dragons and the
Calling KDK1.
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 all the dragons and the
This is KDK12 calling KDK1. This is KDK12 calling KDK1.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome. Did I wake you from your nap? Because you look like you just woke up.
No, I've had a little bit of a sinus headache today, and like I was just like rushing around the house. I'm like, I wish I had a fan in here. Just trying to sweat my makeup off.
Oh yeah, I was like, man, she looks like she just wants to be out for today. But sinus stuff is no joke. Especially
Yeah,
during-
I get it bad too.
yeah. Well, you live in like a dry place, so I mean, it's not like it probably. I would think maybe if you're in a more humid area, it's probably not as bad. But then again, I don't know. I've had that before. Well, I've had it very rarely, but a stuffy nose is usually part of that, seasonal change or whatever. But anyway, I'm getting past the point. Hello, hello everyone. welcome to another DaraChat. That's right. My name is Daramouthe, or Dara for short, because some of you people, all right, the English language, I get it. Some of you didn't make it past the second grade, but I will help you. It's Daramouthe. Okay, that was a free lesson for you all. I know it took some time to get there, but you'll get there soon anyway. Of course, I'm joined by the lovely libertarian goth, or I call her LibbyG because it just sounds much cooler that way. She probably has other ideas, like my rapping career is not going to take off, so you might want to drop it. Gonna see a libertarian goth person out there rapping on the streets.
Ah, yeah, I'm Donald, but libertarian.
Yo, I'm a Libby G. What's going on down? That's probably not gonna work.
Yeah, the first hit is like, you're not a real libertarian. It's just tearing into other libertarians for not being real libertarians.
Well, the definition, the question becomes, what is real, first off, and two, actually, yeah, it's pretty much that at that point. Artful Brittany says pollen is usually the hue shoe in humid places. That's true.
Mhm.
That's true. And then you got Snort saying hello. But yeah, I usually during when the season changes is when my nose starts to get snuffy and all that stuff.
Mm.
Although I've been told I snore too, but that's mostly just for health reasons. So there we are. But I am getting better. I am getting there. Oh, good lord. Okay, yeah. Dare mouth eat. No, that's not how you pronounce it. Dare used his mouth during these streams. It must. No, no, no. No, you're like a bunch, like trying to wrangle a bunch of cats in the chat. All right, sooner or later.
That's the best kind of chats, though.
I don't know. It almost feels like you have to repeat yourself over again. Did you hear that? Almost feels like I have to. Oh man, it's the one that makes you work hard, and I don't get paid for that. But that's all right though. But anyway, how have you been doing, Libby G?
Goodness. It's like my life is like a constant roller coaster. I sprained the ankle and
Oh,
like I got a virus, I got sick, and
what?
like I'm still recovering from the ankle. Like I'm having the chiropractor work on it each time to make sure like it's not like unaligned. Apparently that's a thing. You
Hmm.
sprain your ankle, like it actually gets unaligned. So I've
Oh,
actually had my ankle realigned like almost twice.
interesting.
It's still giving me issues. Then I got sick, and then yesterday, like I had like severe stomach pains.
Ugh.
Like I didn't even want to eat today because of it. So like I just ate my first meal for the day. So I'm like really trying to hope that like
Mhm.
it's just not something wrong with my guts. I'm just like problems after problems. It's always something.
Yeah, I mean, and hello, Diane, of course, and thank you, Malay. Thank you, much appreciated. But yeah, I mean, I'm not in the same category, but there have been times where, you eat something and you feel like throwing up, and
Hmm.
I'm not really one for that, to be honest. I mean, if I have to, I will, but it's more of just like the feeling of it is
Yeah.
is not fun. There was one time I did, and I almost I got pretty dizzy from it. But that was only like the one time. I was able to get back, but I think it's mostly just like you throw up enough fluids.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
that yeah, you throw up enough fluids that you get that dehydratedness. But
Hmm.
that's where you just drink. But they also tell you like always the remedy for that is like crackers or something dry. And thank you. And
Yeah.
of course, ginger ale. Ginger ale is another
Mhm.
one I've been told. Or ginger ale, ginger root. There's these. Funny enough, I go to like a Kroger, and in this sort of health area, they have like these little bottles that are so like they're sort of like shots, and they have different
Oh
ones
yeah.
for like what is it immune efficiency or something like that,
Oh,
and
like health shots.
yeah, like health touch. So,
Okay.
one's for detoxing, one's for immunity, one's for, all this other stuff. Oh man,
In
everything.
Japan, they have them like little bottles like that, but you
Yeah,
drink
yeah,
it before you start drinking alcohol, and it keeps you from having a hangover.
yeah. I've seen that. I can't remember what it is, but I have seen that little bottle that they sell those. But
Mhm.
they also do like Pocari Sweat, which is sort of like their own sort of sports drink over there.
Pocari Sweat. Yeah, it's not
Sorry.
bad. It's got that slight sweat, not sweat, sweat, sweat. I guess taste because it's got that slight salty taste. Like
Yeah.
when you drink like a Gatorade, there's a very slight salty taste.
Yeah.
It's got that. And it
Mhm.
actually kind of reminds me of like the white Gatorade in a way. Maybe just not as strong on like the sweet flavor, but it's kind of like that. It's not bad. I've had it a
Yeah,
few
I
times.
mean, I've had it once before. I mean, you can get it in US in those, in, Asian markets, but
Hmm.
I've had it at least once. But it really doesn't match up to, like, being able to get stuff out of um, one of the vending machines
Oh yeah.
because I mean, for me, you always watch these people, like, there's one channel I watch, Dancing Bacons, and they go through different areas like Singapore, Thailand, and all that stuff, but when they go back to um Japan, it's like you have the machines there. There's a dude that's
Hmm.
like eating out of like a 24/7 cafe sort of thing or stuff
Hmm.
like that. White Gatorade is best flavor. Well, I have it. It's either that or Powerade. There's also Powerade too, but they're both. It's kind of hard too because they're both not good for you because of what they put in it. So
I think the cucumber lime is the best, honestly, but you can only get that in like certain areas.
uh,
But
I've
yeah.
heard I've heard people talk about drinking pickle juice as like almost a cure all, but I am not gonna try to throw that one out there. Yeah, I just heard it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna try it.
Maybe the pregnant woman mafia or something,
That's
start.
a pregnant woman. Do you know how ridiculous sounding that is? Come on, that'd be the worst movie ever. It's like, so there's a bunch of women here, boss, and they're all pregnant. I don't think I could do anything about this. You're gonna
Well,
take
yeah, no one's gonna want to hurt them, so yeah, they can kind of, you know, raise a lot of chaos.
Malay says, pickle juices save me from many hangovers. Well, there's that.
Mm.
There you could do that, but I'm not a drinker, so I save myself from many hangovers by not going there. See, see,
Yeah,
see how easy.
that helps too. Yeah,
Yeah, see
like
the
I don't really drink
solution.
anymore.
Oh yeah,
No, I only drink at concerts. Like I'll have like one at a concert or something,
one at a
but I don't
concert.
like get drunk. I had my
Well,
days.
once long ago, the young LibbyG
Yes.
used to drink like it was a what did they call that in the trash can? A trash can, I think they called it.
Mhm.
Was they
Like a
they
Navy
just
grog.
No, they mix different alcohols in the trash can. I think they called that back
Oh,
then, or just
I don't
used
know.
whatever one.
I when I went to the goth clubs though,
Uh,
it's only specific to the goth clubs. I would have crown. I would drink Crown on the rocks, just straight
Crown
Crown on the rocks. That was my go to at the goth club. If I went
mm,
to other clubs, like I'd have the fruity stuff and beer if it was
mm,
like just with friends. But yeah, like Crown on the rocks was my goth club drink.
mm, uh,
Actually, I have a picture of myself sitting on Black Santa's lap. It was a Christmas event at the golf club, and
mm.
I'm sitting there. You can actually see me holding my crown on the rocks as I'm just kind of like already just drunk and just talking. I'm not even looking at the camera. Like it should have been, but I think I posted that picture before. If not, I'll try to find it and post it.
Pickles. Oh, well, come on, don't be like that with pickles. Some people like pickles, okay? Pickles are just cucumbers aged, okay? That's what it is. But I
Like
mean,
there's this like a couple like on YouTube, and
mm,
he's from Italy, and they don't
oh,
do cucumbers the way we do, like with or pickles the way we do like with cucumbers.
mm,
And he had a pickle with his meal, and he's lived in the States with his wife. She's American,
yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, I got cucumber." And she's like, "It's a pickle." He's like, "No, it's a cucumber," and like he was just so confused
yeah,
why she wasn't agreeing that it was a cucumber when it is a cucumber, but it's
mm,
a pickle at the point. So it was kind of cute.
yeah. It was funny enough. I had a gentleman on who's actually well, his family is from Italy, but he's from
Oh.
Canada. So, but he has that
Oh.
sort of yeah. But yeah, I don't even know. I know grazie. That's about as good as my Italian goes. I can fake it though. That's usually we just watch the Godfather, and then I can really
Oh, yeah. The Sopranos. Just watch The Sopranos. Gabagool. Oh, that's not even
gabagool.
Italian anyway. I'm not sure if that's even actually Italian, but
Hey,
I
that's
know that's
okay.
what they talk about.
An Italian looks at you like, really? And you're just like, gabagool? And you're just like,
Gabagool.
gabagool.
Bippity
Lord.
boppity.
Give me this,
But you gotta do like the talk with your hands. Like,
yeah, you gotta talk with your hands, you know? people with people who are deaf will be so confused, be like, what is he trying to say? What is going on here? Hey, I'm walking here, okay? Watch where you're going before I smack you in the face. You know my sister, right? My sister, she's gonna come and smack you too. How's that sound? The whole family's gonna come up and smack you. Oh man, if you can't have fun with it,
But
with
I actually
them.
heard that Italians in Italy don't like Italian Americans.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that recently. I was like, I don't think many Americans sometimes don't like Italian Americans, depending on like what region they're from in the United States.
Right.
But yeah, it was. I was like, wow, that's weird. But then
Well,
again, like a lot of countries, like in Europe and all over the world, don't really like the American version of them whose ancestors came from their place.
yeah.
It's pretty common apparently.
Yeah, I mean, you have obviously you have Di Buca di Beppo. Di
Oh,
Buca
Big
di Beppo.
Beppo.
We're gonna
Di
be
Bu-
learning. We're gonna be learning a lot of Italian today, so be prepared for those lessons.
I don't
Oh,
know much of it.
goodness. No, but going back to that, it's sort of like you've had Germans move over to the U.S. You've had
Hmm.
Dutch, and they've sort of made their areas like I know there's a place in Michigan called Frankenmuth, and it's a very Germanic town. Um,
Hmm.
there's a game out there called Fallout 76, and it's in West Virginia, but the town is sort of Germanic in sort of like the food, the holidays and stuff. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how certain areas have sort of that thing. But I mean, again, you have that too with like Indians and Hispanics and
Hmm.
all this stuff. It's sort of again, America is what is known as the great melting pot. Thank you, Schoolhouse of Rock, for that. So that is much appreciated. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting to kind of learn about that sort of thing, but it does kind of feel like it has gone a lot farther just because of certain actions or this or that, whatever. It was
Hmm.
funny. It was funny. Um, there was a whole debacle about the is it HB ones or H1Bs? How does that?
I think it's H1B.
Okay.
Yeah.
The I'll take your word for it. If you're wrong, I won't. I don't know who you are. But the H1B debacle, when that was going on, I was like, well, that's great and all, but why would you want to move people over here, more people over here who
Yeah.
possibly scammers? Because a bunch of scamming that happens to Americans here comes from India. So it's sort of like a duality. Well, yeah, because there's a channel out there. It's called Scammer Payback, and I always try to, I always
Oh,
try
I
to,
love that channel.
yeah, and they and you get to realize how much of the scam that goes on the English that England has it too, coming to
Hmm.
because it's mostly English speaking, but they in America, majority of that comes from India. And so when you're having that whole debacle going around about H1Bs, I'm like, why would you? Not all of them. Obviously, there are people in India who don't like that. But
Right.
going back to the point, why would you want to move people over who could be part of that than just work on what's here?
Yeah,
Because
well, do you understand how big the population is in India? Like, it's
billions.
almost like saying like there's Americans that sell timeshares and they're all scams. So why would you want to import an American to come work in your country because they could be part of the timeshare industry? Like,
Some are some are scams, yes. H1Bs are totally different type of scammer than the Indian do not redeem sort of scam. That is right. They say do not redeem. I remember that
mhm,
from the show. I know a government official who lost over 40K and despite being government didn't have a way to solve it. Yeah, that is true.
wow.
Yeah, there was one of the stories from Scammer Payback. It was an older gentleman. He was in his 70s and his wife had passed a few years ago. And there were some things they couldn't get to because they were tied behind some certain actions. But basically, scammers basically drained him of 70K.
Aw.
70K. And of course, Scammer Payback, they have their fun things, so they're trying to help out. But the point of the matter is, though, is that when you fall for it, and it's sad when people do, there's no real way of getting your money back. It's gone.
Mhm.
And congrats to like Scammer Payback and people who do that, because there's not really anyone else, and you can't really rely on the government to solve the issue, because you're relaying that information to the government, and then you have to
Mhm.
deal with the Indian government, who on top of that is partly corrupt. So you kind of are
Partly.
dealing, well, wholly corrupt, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, it's still corrupt, and you're dealing with
Mhm.
that sort of far off stuff. So it's like, uh, yeah, it feels like an unsolvable uh, issue, but the only solvable point is to just be mindful of what you get in mail, in text, in phone calls. I mean, they are pretty much picking
Mhm.
up every point. Um,
It's honestly, it's safe to assume everything's a scam these days.
I can't believe you're on here and you're a scam yourself. No, I'm just joking.
I could be a Fed. People think I'm a Fed.
Oh, you a Fed? You're too lovely to be a Fed. The
Thank
H-1Bs
you.
cheat on their interviews. It's possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Um,
doubt that at all.
they import them because it's cheap and hire American. Well, obviously, I mean, where do you think most companies take their stuff outside the United States? And Nightmare says I was impacted by H-1Bs. Okay, so you were in a company that was probably a tech company, more or less, because usually that's where they go. Um, got laid off a few months ago. Well, that just sucks.
Mm.
That does suck, unfortunately. Hey, Deviator, how are you doing? But I mean, again, just good on SP and all that, because we kind of need that, because
Mm.
can't really rely on any government to resolve that issue, because you have both sides that are kind of corrupt, but
Yeah.
one side is more corrupt and all that stuff, and it's just like once it's gone, it's gone. So the best thing you do is
Hmm.
preventative. Per is it preventative maintenance or preventative not preventative maintenance? What would be a good term for that? Preventative pre scam. I don't know what they call that. Nightmare says, yeah.
Proactive. Be proactive.
Oh yeah, proactive, preventative. Yeah, being proactive. Yeah, I'm a software engineer. Okay, nice. Well, it's good to know I know another software engineer, because I know a lot of them. A Fed, do you glow in the dark?
Depends. Did I just dye my hair or not?
When do you not dye your hair though? Because your
I
hair is
know
always,
I need to be touched up. I actually got to re-bleach the roots. I didn't do it good enough last time. It still looks ombre.
because you what, you're like, you've been purple for quite some time. I think
Over a year, I think,
you
at
just
least.
you must love the color purple then.
I like how it looks on me.
Darn, I can't use that joke. Alaska Man Jeff says I was impacted down in Florida, Disney back in 2013 by the
Mm.
H-1Bs too. Well, you know, uh, Disney is uh, Disney is a simmering pot of, I don't know what to call it, because there's also been stories I've heard of where they caught like a ring down there, uh,
Mm.
human trafficking ring. And that's the funny thing too, is that um, I can't remember what year it was, but when the movie Sound of Freedom came out, it really hit on a point that I think people, some people haven't forgotten, but I do think a lot of people kind of don't think about, because we're all so preoccupied with their daily lives, right? Like, you have bills to pay, you've already crunked your ankle, you have sinus issues. The last thing you're going to think about is some poor child from Cambodia who's been human trafficked halfway across the world. Your life is what take precedence, not theirs. And it's an understandable thing. I'm not trying to make it out to be a bad thing, but it is a true factor of where we're at as human beings, because we're
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Oh,
we're go ahead.
sorry.
No, you're fine, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like it's one of those factors where if it's not around you, if you don't see it, it's it's away from you.
Mm,
The whole out of sight, out of mind thing.
yeah.
Like I've heard somebody make a comparison where if you hear that your uh, friend's kid got
Mm,
in a bike accident, like you're more concerned than if like say some kid in China got in a bike accident.
yeah. No, I
Things more
doubt.
relative to you.
Yeah, yeah, it's the even I guess maybe you could do a community factor, but even then, community factor may not affect you as much. It's sort of like when Texas got a hurricane. You're grateful, but people died from that, and obviously
Hmm.
you're so separated from that sort of death thing that you kind of just go
Hmm.
about your business. and other things too. And Alaska Man Jeff says Disney has a lot of bad things taking place there. We're not allowed to talk about them, so we had to whisper about them behind the scenes. Oof, ooh, that's rough. And that was what 12 years ago. Wow, jeez. Um, and Nightmare says you can't help others if you can't help yourself first.
Yep.
That can be a double-edged sword if you're not careful. Um, but yeah, it's sort of like it brought awareness, but then it completely went back down because it does pretty much happen everywhere. It's just like the sort of like the black sheep of the family sort of thing. You
Hmm.
know that's there, but you kind of keep hush about it because whatever. But it is kind of a sad state for us. But right, you're right. Like we care about China in its sense and political thing, but who cares about the 14-year-old boy in China? I highly doubt any of us care about a single person in China in the degree that we care about our own personal lives. And that's just that factor of um, when talking about like when you hear things like, oh, why don't we stop war? Why don't we well, because you really care about the person so far halfway across the world that that stuff matters more or not? It's that what's the word? Not dividing factor. What is that? Disparity? Is that the word? Disparity. It's that disparity of here and there and a
Mm.
bunch of water in between, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm no expert here. I am not a political person, but here I am doing the best I can with what I know, which isn't much by any standard. So there we
I'm
go.
not political at all either.
And your name is Libertarian Goth. Why the heck?
Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of threw yourself under the bus with that one.
No, that was meant to be a joke. Yes. Speaking of,
Uh,
public service announcement, don't forget to cyberbully your government today if you haven't already.
when you say that, I feel like you just don't feel it enough. Like you just like want to feel like you mean it. Like if you're gonna say cyberbully your government today, I want to feel it's like the Uncle Sam poster saying, "I want you. Give me, give me the libertarian goth version. Come on."
It's probably the headache,
Oh,
but
that's true.
yeah.
I'll let you have that. I'll
Yeah.
let you have that.
Otherwise, I no, like I'm just like, oh yeah, totally cyberbully your government. Just they deserve
Yeah.
it. What are they gonna do? Cry and laugh at them for crying?
You know what? There's a lot of people that laugh at other people for crying. So it's a true thing. But no, I think I, I think in essence of well, I already know that nightmare. I already know about the thing. They call it virgin eggs or something like that in China.
Ew.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like young. Yeah, we're not gonna get into it. I've already done it before. I think I like this woman. Well, you know what? I do too. I like having her on, but she is a very busy lady. It's like I have to take a number. It's like I have to take a number. Like you go to a grocery store and you're waiting your line when they call you for the meat stuff. It's like yeah, take it number 627. Dang it! I only have 2 hours. I can't do this. But no, I'm always glad to have her on. Um, where was I at? But yeah, I don't. I really, I've always felt this, but I really do believe that if people really want change, then they'll do something about it. And while you could say, "Oh, let's go the route of local or whatever," no, no, no. While you only have so much you only have so much time to do something about something. And if you have enough people to do it while you're alive, that's the best time to the saying striking while the iron's hot holds true, especially now. But many of people have their lives to worry about, have their families to worry about, and so many others that to go and do something about it would mean having to sacrifice a lot. And I doubt a lot of people will sacrifice a lot, even though their ancestors kind of did, which is the ironic part, unfortunately. I was talking about bullying your politicians earlier with Lewis Rossman. Okay, Lewis. I think I'm reading that right. Stuff. I've never heard of him. Work for Israel. Oh, piss master. Oh goodness. Um, but yeah, I just think like either you're going to do the thing and peacefully protest at Capitol Hill, or you're just going to keep complaining about it online and otherwise. And that's where I see the defining factor at. Like, it's gonna require sacrifice, and a lot of people are not gonna sacrifice for something bigger than themselves at this point because 'cause they're too comfortable.
Well, that kind of brings me back to I don't know if you've seen the movie The Patriot with Mel
With milk.
Gibson.
Okay, yeah, I was like, "I've
you,
heard of it."
like it's kind of towards the beginning of the movie where
Mm,
they're having a session and
mm,
everyone's trying to get them to vote to go to war, and he
mm,
said that you know he just has a family to think about. His
yeah,
family to think about. It's not just trying to go to war with England.
mm,
He was trying to think like I have this, I have responsibilities, I have things around me to think about the rest of the colonies and King George, kind of thing.
yeah, and yeah, you so it's sort of that thing where it has to hit you at home first before it's something you do, but again, it
Hmm.
does hit all at home, and yet you still see the result of not very much, and while I'd like to continue believing in the system set up beforehand, my point of matter is this, is that over a period of time, things degrade to the point where the system first set up is not gonna be as effective as when it first started out. We can have these points of the three ring circus. Thank you, Schoolhouse Rock. For that regard, for that regard, but the issue of it is that sooner or later those things degrade because who who's involved with it? Human beings. Who can be corrupted? Human beings. And so sooner or later those systems get degraded by the corruption of the people that get
Mm.
corrupted in. And so you really don't have a system that can last because yes, it is, and yes, the strive for a perfect union is a ideal goal to go for, but the other part of that is that you're dealing with so many different human aspects, the anger and all this other
Mhm.
stuff, and getting to um, what people want, desires and wishes and all that stuff.
Mhm.
That those things just become less of a factor and more of like, okay, what can you sort of do me for today? And you kind of see that with what is now, and it doesn't have to be in
Yeah.
politics too, but just focusing on that part.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Hey Romano, how are you? Oop, get off. Uh, yeah, of course, always glad she's on. Um, oh, look at that. She may be a goth, but she'll still throw up that heart once in a while. She's probably
Oh, see that's the thing is that goths are obsessed with love and death. That's kind of like our whole shtick. So like love is always a big thing. Yeah.
well, love. You said love and death, but it wasn't like what was I gonna say? It love of death. That would have
No,
been a very
both.
both.
Love, well, because like you think about the Gothic literatures like Dracula and like that's just for an example. Even like Edgar Allan Poe's writings, there's a lot of like undertones of just love and romance,
Mm,
but yet there's also the macabre that comes along with it too.
the macabre, yeah.
Mm.
And that's understandable itself. Because I mean, I don't. I mean, back in the day, like in the '90s, it was more of like goth was known as emo. I think those two were kind of uh, what's synonymous with each other because of just like the dark and emotional and all that
Mm.
stuff. Uh,
Emo have a different attitude than goth.
mm,
It's a different baseline, I guess, in a way
mm,
than goth. Uh,
mm,
they 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 have more derivative from punk, although goth comes from post punk,
mm,
or at least the music does. They are kind of more inspired by punk than
mm.
they are anything else, as well
Right,
as the whole emo thing. Like their perspective on things usually differs
mm,
from the attitude of the goth perspective.
right. Yeah,
Mm.
and Dev says "In Love and Death" was a good album from The Used. There you go, Love and Death, right there. Um, But yeah, it was just during that time. Hey Barbie, how are you? It was just during that time where in the I think it was like the '90s is where that whole thing kind of was with goth and emo and all. I mean, you have Avril Lavigne, right? Avril Lavigne was very um. I think the term would be emo. I don't think she was goth in any sort of faction, but she was very alt girl, if that makes sense.
Yeah, she was she had a punk edge to her aesthetic, but she of course she definitely was pop.
Yeah.
She's kind of like a punky pop kind of
Mm,
thing. because she wasn't quite the bubblegum pop like Britney Spears, but she was still pop.
Or Taylor Swift, but we won't go that far.
Yeah. That's not bubblegum. That's something else. That's pumpkin spice. Even though I love the pumpkin spice, that's pumpkin spice pop.
Ooh, well, you're not too far off. It seems like fall's almost here. I mean, but basically, it's the season part of it is starting to come in. But I know you'll get your cup out saying, "Alms for the pumpkin spice! Alms for the pumpkin spice!"
Yeah,
Um,
I had my pumpkin spices this morning too. I
uh,
had a pumpkin cream cold brew.
I'm just waiting for you to put like a gold chain around you that says pumpkin spice. I'm just waiting for it. May Avril Lavigne was out. Well, I mean, well, and that's the funny thing too is that for a while she had disappeared from the scene because no one, I don't even know if anyone knew what
She was
happened, but
sick a lot.
yeah, she had Lyme disease. That's why
Hmm.
she disappeared, and she started a foundation for that because I don't know if anyone knows, but ticks do carry Lyme disease, and so my dad actually had it at one point, and if you don't catch it early enough, it can end up being pretty bad for you. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, it was just when my dad had it, he said he never felt the same again after it
Mm.
because it really does affect you. So yeah, that was the reason I found out, and I had to research it. I'm like, oh wow, she's still making music because she is still
Hmm.
making music, I believe. She's still out there doing concerts, but yeah, for a long time she was kind of out of it. But I mean, she does look lovely. I won't deny that she was of her time, and
Hmm.
I'm glad she's at least still moving and grooving because uh, I think the rarity of Lyme disease is that will just take you out completely. Um,
Hmm.
Lyme disease was a bioweapon, though. Well, it could be used as a bioweapon.
Hi, terrorists.
Terras. Um, more always Christina Christina Aguilera fan. Well, that's also goes back to like Disney itself too with the Mickey Mouse Club because Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera were part of the Mickey Mouse Club. So
Hmm.
that's a little info for you guys to know. Uh, they did that on Jekyll Island. I've never heard of that. Never heard of
Hmm.
that Jekyll Island. Created it. I mean, oh okay, Jekyll. Oh, created it. Oh, Jekyll Island. Okay, never heard of it. I will. Oh, she is touring with Simple Plan right now, or just in it. Okay. Oh, the Simple Plan must be a band then, because she was mostly a solo artist from as far as I remember.
Hmm.
Uh, but she was
She
pretty good.
is. She's still solo.
She's still pretty good. Avril's still hot. Of course she's still good looking. I haven't seen anything recently, but Lyme disease is just bioweapon, literally about well, yes, it's of nature, so there's that. Um, bionically not. But I am biased. Well, aren't we all just a little biased? Aren't we all?
Thank
Um,
you.
but yeah, I don't. She was more of a punk rocker and all that stuff. But that was also the '80s era too. Was the punk
Mm.
rocker stuff
Yeah, I think it's punk goes back as far as I want to say late '60s, like the
possibly?
very very first, but I could be wrong.
Well, if I think of it this way, as an example, right? Like the Bee Gees, right? They were a band in the '60s, but they didn't hit their stride until the '70s because of the
Mm.
the musical shift, right? You had pop or whatever it was back in the '60s, and then you come to like disco and funk, which don't get me wrong, I like to get down and funky, but there's a time and place for everything. On my hip. Oh Lord, in my hip.
That aging it gets us all.
That's true. That is true. Bee Gees were a Beatles type band. Yes, well, they started out that way, but then they became something different. To Love Somebody is a good example. Yep. Yeah. But I haven't. I just like that music, sort of funky soul. You got something like Barry White, but that's more. That's more. That's more a little something different there. It's a little funk with a little.
A certain kind of groove to it.
Oh, well, yes, and something else to go along with that. But I mean, yeah, it was there are good moments in history for music, but
Mm.
everyone has their inferences, and then they like to talk about how some of those inferences are bad. But I'm like, no, you're wrong. small gnome or something. I don't know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Maybe
But
because your camera's like so high and like it's like you're sitting low.
well, it is on the top of my monitor. So if I have it
Mm.
below, it's just gonna show up my nose, and nobody wants to see that.
Mhm.
There's a booger in there. Lord, it's a big booger. I don't, I don't think we need that. But I mean, yeah. So, but you've been streaming for a bit. How's that been going?
It's been going all right. I just kind of more or less go on like a rant for an hour on a couple of political topics of whatever's going on. And it's like half talking to myself and just ranting, and then like the other half is just like talking with the chat
Mm,
who, participate and discuss it.
mm,
So it's almost like a not quite an open forum discussion. It's just more like my crazy libertarian rantings mixed with chat participation.
mm. Yeah, and you don't really have a set time because you do
I
do
do.
stuff outside of. Oh, you do?
Yeah. Well, my stream has a set time every Friday at 10:30 Central PM.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's
because
night.
yeah, because I mean, beforehand, I didn't think you really had a set time to do it because you were kind of
Mhm.
still all over the place when you
Yeah.
were doing it
Before
now.
it was. Now it's a set time.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good you
Mhm.
finally found that. Her rants are great though. Well, I imagine so because everyone watches her for her rants. Not because they're there for, anything else. They're there for her rants because she will throw you off or the board, whichever one. But no, I mean, obviously you do have that politicalness, partly because it's in your name, but partly because those are your viewpoints. But I mean, there's more to it than that because I remember you talking about how you are, your other part is that you do, um, is it horror makeup or just makeup in general, like a traveling?
Oh, I am a freelance makeup artist.
Okay, yeah,
My biggest season is usually prom or Halloween,
really.
because I don't really advertise my services. I'm more like word of mouth because I just got like I do the makeup, I still do it, but like with me being so busy, it's kind of like, well, I'm just word of mouth. Like if I have
Yeah,
time, if contact me, yeah, I'll take the client.
yeah,
Um, but I try to keep October as open as possible because it is such a busy month because I do special effects work,
yeah.
and it's harder to find a special effects makeup artist than it is to find like say like a wedding makeup artist.
Really.
So it's a little bit
So
more niche.
right, yeah, and this is mostly like for like the haunted houses sort of stuff, or just Halloween in general sort of thing.
Yeah, just Halloween in general. People going to parties or even like there's this one client I have every single year. I do her daughter's makeup for her trick or treating,
Oh,
and yeah. So there's that. But I actually did apply to work at a haunted house, and they hired me, but they never
what?
got back to me. So it was
Ah,
weird.
that
And
is
then I
mean.
went to their haunted house before, and I went in full makeup too. And I was just kind of like, you could have used me. like looking at their makeup, I was
I
like, I'm not
can.
going to try to be Judgy McJudgerson here, but y'all really could have used me from the looks of it.
Yeah, someone tries to come up to you and scares like, yeah, look, let's just put the point. Your makeup is all atrocious. I can't. You're not
Your
scaring me.
prosthetic seam is showing, sir.
I can see your actual nose. That's how bad this is.
Hmm. Like the prosthetic is lifting right there, like,
I can just see it now. You go to a haunted house and
yeah.
somebody tries to scare. It's like, look, the costume looks great, but this right here, this looks like an atrocity waiting to happen. I'm sorry. I
Yeah, my
just,
makeup is so much better than theirs.
I, I feel like I feel like people would just be like, "Who the hell is this person?" Then you just start walking out. It's like, "Lady, you are accosting us, people."
A lot of them would break character and compliment my makeup.
Wow.
Yeah. Like they would still talk in their like gruffy voice, depending on like what their character was, but they would kind
Yeah.
of like break the fourth wall. Nice makeup, and I was like, thanks. Can't say
Who
the same for you, but
who
thanks.
said that? Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Alaska Jeff says, "You mean the haunted house ghosted you?"
they
Ah,
did.
there we go.
They did. And I tried emailing them a contact. I was like, didn't you just hire me? And then they sent me some sort of like W 2 or something. I'm like,
Mhm.
I didn't work for you. Like, why are you sending me tax information? Like, we never went anywhere.
Yeah, it's like $0. That's all it can write.
Yeah,
That's all that's there.
I know. And I thought about applying again this year, or maybe applying at like Six Flags or something in the area
Mhm.
and doing makeup there. But then I was like, I like my clients better because I want to be available for my regulars.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, they're gonna keep you in
Mm.
business, although it's not too out of the realm to try to keep yourself open for more business because I mean, you do, it's the difference between working for yourself and then working a
Hmm.
9 to 5, which
Hmm.
has its pros and cons depending on.
Yeah.
And Trey says, I got banned from a haunted house because my natural reaction is to punch when I get scared. So
Like those prank videos. People get punched, they jump out of the trash can.
I dislike that. That's because my thing is what happens if you scare the wrong person and now you're
Mm.
liable for their because there was one I saw where it was in a mall and I think it was a Christmas one or whatever and some guy was like standing still or whatnot and the guy is coming along and he scared that guy and that guy sort of started doing like this like
Hmm.
seizure. But it's funny enough is that that guy who was doing a seizure thing was actually faking it and he got the other guy. So it was sort of like it was sort
Oh,
of
they
like a
prank
two
each
way.
other.
Yeah, it's sort of like a two-way street because the other guy was reacting when he started shaking. He's reacting. He's like, "Oh crap!" And then he started like, "Nah, I'm good." And he's like, "Yeah, that's why." Um, but yeah, those are. I mean, they're fun, but they also come with a risk that if
Yeah.
you're not careful, you could end up causing more harm than fun. And I'm just like,
Hmm.
there's really you can't. It's like with the show Practical Jokers. I don't know if you've heard of them or not, but
Yes.
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 So you would have that sort of ordeal where they would practical joke each other. I think I think they do have people sign after the fact, like consent forms. But my
Mm.
issue is that at before they do that, you do have that moment where they're like
Mm.
they don't know, and you could run into legal issues. That's where this thing
Hmm.
leads to is like it gets hard to do prank or whatever because you can like on a phone you could just star 69 somebody and it's like oops you're in trouble now.
Yeah. Well, like on Jackass, like they had that issue quite a bit. That's one reason they went to Japan on the
Mm,
second Jackass movie
mm,
was because all the legalities would try to get people to sign off on like permission.
mm.
And I know like Borat had some issues with that,
Oof.
but they kind of actually still lied and they got sued a lot. Like Sacha Baron
Oof.
Cohen got sued for Borat.
Yeah, that's insane. But I mean, that's been an issue too. Like, I'm pretty sure you've seen it, but you've seen like these content creators who've gone over to the Japan, or,
Mm.
like people who've gone over, whether they're a content creator or not. I think majority of it's been content creators, but there are people who aren't content
Hmm.
creators too. And there's been a lot of bad behaviors from that. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, for someone who's been over there, I mean, that kind of deteriorates wanting people to come over as tourists.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it really, really annoys the Japanese. Like, um, it's really hard if you're not Japanese
Mm.
already
Yeah.
to kind of befriend despite the social like the language barrier like
Mhm.
anybody in Japan because they're very um what's it called uh, like reasonably like it's weary of
Yeah.
tourists and people
Yeah.
coming from other places because there are some people that have acted bad like Logan Paul. The whole Logan Paul thing was absolutely terrible
Mm-mm.
and even completely tragic. And then you have the Johnny Somali
Yep.
doing that. And then you also have regular tourists that just don't understand how to use their manners. Like I saw
Yeah.
some European tourists run onto the train
Mhm.
when it was still. They weren't about to miss it and totally skipped the entire line that was waiting to get on. Like they just bolted on. I'm just like, we're standing in line. This is what the Japanese do. You should do it like because that's what they're doing. This is their country. You should stand in line like everybody else. But no, no, they just bolted on, laughing, slammed them butts on the seats, and they're just like, "Ah."
Yeah, it's and there was another video I saw where I don't know how true it was because things can be staged. But it was like it was an Australian either content creator or just a tourist who stole
Mm,
something from a grave. And I was like, why? What's the point of doing that? Like you go to another country because you whether it's for the anime manga stuff or it's for the rich places like seeing Mount Fuji or whatnot. Because I think they do allow people to hike on Mount Fuji. I
Oh yeah,
think,
yeah.
yeah. But the point of the matter is, like, you set a bad, like with the Johnny Somali stuff, you set a bad precedent for a lot of people getting the opportunity to go over who want to respect, and then
Hmm.
when it gets harder and harder to, because I mean, after obviously COVID really shut down Japan
Mm.
for
Oh
quite
yeah.
some time, but then you're talking about like people going over and misbehaving because
Hmm.
they know that to some degree the Japanese will give them so um, plentiful of chances or whatever. Not maybe not chances, but like
Uh,
they're
they're just too
more,
polite to say anything a lot of the times because
yeah.
they don't want to be involved in it. They don't want to get involved in anything, but it doesn't mean that they're any less annoyed.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also another thing too when you have, because I at least know at least one person who's been, because there's a video of it on YouTube. That I at least know one person who was naturalized into Japan, and basically naturalization to Japan means you have to give up your citizenship right to the other country you're from. So it's like he was from America, so he had to go through that whole ordeal where he
Wow.
had to basically go the traitor act, or I don't know whatever it was called, but basically you were no longer a citizen of the United States. So you were basically you were a citizen of Japan, but you could not be a citizen of another. Now you probably can be with a visa, but I'm pretty sure sooner or later they're going to start doing something with that, because you do have a lot of people over there, like content creators who do live in Japan, like
Mhm.
Aki and her boyfriend.
Oh, I love Aki.
What's her boyfriend? Joey. I think Joey's is his name. He's the
Joey,
Australian
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Hmm.
Now
And PewDiePie has a house in Japan too.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know if he's official or if he's just visa, because those are two different things. But I don't need a family over there.
Mm.
But you do have some of the people who do have respect, who do speak the language, and then you have other people who are just like crapping on it. It's just like you really don't
Hmm.
build a good case for others coming over, and it's already
Yeah.
expensive enough. Like
Mm.
I can't I can't pay any more for this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just a nightmare when you hear that stuff. Um, but I mean, I also know stories too. Like when the Japanese come over to the U.S., they kind of take a lot of pictures, and but there's more of a freedom to that regard, because in Japan there's not really a freedom of speech, so to speak, that the U.S. has. It's not the same as what the U.S. has. I can say on that regard.
Yeah, it's not as broad as the US,
Mhm.
but it's also not as restrictive as, say, like in Vietnam, where you can't speak against the government at
Ooh,
all, or you will be jailed. Yeah. In Japan, like they have protests against the government all the time. They have a lot more freedom of speech than a lot of Asia.
right, right. Um, it's just on knowing that regard, because again, you have the whole
Mhm.
stuff with free use too. Free use is not a thing in Japan, obviously, for the people who use the anime manga stuff and they get hit on YouTube. So you do have that sort of thing. And
Mhm.
then Terror says, I'd almost be willing to put money on them removing that restriction on citizenship, because there is a move to import Indians en masse to Japan. I thought it was uh, South Africans or something like that. I can't Africans. But I mean, I did see a piece of news saying they retracted something of that regard. So we'll see. But I mean, they have a bunch. They have a lot of Chinese asylum seekers there. They have a lot of other ones, because I did see a video where there was someone either from Pakistan or the Middle East who they have their stuff. Yes, but okay,
Mhm.
Africans, oh, Indians as well. Yeah, and again, it's no different than any other country. Like, um, how much you willing to have come over and how much you're willing to uh, not. Um, and Jeff says Japan has turned on immigration hard this last summer. It's likely going to stop very soon. One can hope, because Japan, in its own right, as a country, is very homogenous, which is,
Mhm.
for better lack of term, very within itself. It was for a very long time. Although I don't think Shogun is really It's based on a true story, but I don't know how true of interpretation
Oh,
that is.
the show Shogun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's
No,
based on a book.
it's yeah, it's based on a book that's based on real events.
Yes, no, I know it's based
Yeah.
upon an Englishman who came over in the 1500s,
Hmm.
and although the story is more, it's not the same because it
Right.
does,
Yeah, they
yeah,
changed a lot.
yeah, they do exaggerate a bit. Can't
Yeah.
blame them. Yeah. Japan is so small that it really ceased to be. It's an archipelago. Like Japan is basically an archipelago where you have South Korea, which is a peninsula. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, they're a peninsula.
Peninsula. But it's a lot. So you have archipelago, you have islands, island like Hawaii is an island. You
Mm.
have like stuff like Russia, which is a continent. South Africa, Africa is a continent. There's a whole difference of spec, but Japan is an archipelago, and because of where it's situated at, which is really like on that edge of one of the plates, that's why it has earthquakes a majority of the time
Mm.
because it's just in that situation. But yeah, it's a small place, but I think what was it? I think I saw someone say like you could fit the whole of Japan in Texas. I think it is.
No, no, no. It's bigger than that.
Oh,
You
okay,
can
I didn't know
like
that. Okay.
if you put Japan on top of the United States, it would stretch like from Mexico to up to Canada. Like it's
Oh,
a lot bigger than you think.
okay, all right. I mean, you could still have some parts of it fit in certain areas, but yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. Traces. I love Shogun. I'd wish they'd show about making ancient Aztecs. I would love that. Yeah, I don't know about the blood sacrifice though. That's a little different. Tara's also. I'm talking about the demographics. Demographic replacement is genocide. Well, yeah, that is a form of that. Japan is the size of California. California. It is the size of California. I come here to tell you about Japan. Arnold, get off the stage. Get off the stage, Arnold. But no, I do know that there's I think it's the 70s version of the show. And then there's of course the one that was a few years ago with um oh, what his name? He's been in a few movies too. He's a very famous Japanese actor. God, I'm gonna have to look it up. I'll have to look up the act. Hold, give me a second. There we go. Let's see. Aha, here we go. Let's see the actors. Here we go. Let's see the actors on the show. Okay. I gotta move in a bit. Okay. So we got Cosmo Jarvis, which is John Blackthorne, which, for those who were wondering about earlier,
Mm.
I believe that was his name from what the story is originally based on, because it is based on an Englishman. And the funny thing about the story is, at least from what I heard, is that the Englishman stayed in Japan because he had a lot of wealth. He had a lot of stuff built up in Japan that it was kind of hard for him to go home. But he did send money home. I do know that. He did send money home. He was kept by the shogun to stay there for a while, but then he was released. And instead of going home, he decided just to send money home because he already had a lot of wealth and stuff built up there. And it was kind of like going back to England. That wasn't that. So there is that. Oh, this is the one. Hiroyuki Sanada. That's the actor I'm thinking of because he was in the the new Mortal
Mm.
Kombat movie. There's been a lot of other stuff too. He's one of those great actors, Japanese actors. But you see, again, they do use a lot of Japanese actors for the show, which is great. Because of course it kind of exemplifies the barrier, the language barrier. Obviously,
Hmm.
um, I didn't watch the show. I didn't have what is it? FX, I think is where it's at. Um, where is it? Is a TV series, but what was it on? Has to be up here somewhere.
It was FX, I think.
FX. Yeah, it was
Mhm.
on FX, but really don't have FX. But I did see a lot of clips and stuff posted to YouTube, and it was I enjoyed the clips they posted out there because it's very the dynamic of at that time, right? Because I think during that
Mhm.
period of time, was it the Jesuits or something like that were first in Japan, or the Catholics or something like
No,
that.
the Dutch. I want to say the Dutch, but that's probably not it.
Right.
No, or the Portuguese. The Portuguese,
Portuguese.
I
That's
think.
right. The Portuguese. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Because it was Catholicism. I do know that because it was sort of that war of different areas of the world with Catholicism was.
Mm-hmm.
Dutch were there. That's right. Dutch were there. Okay, so the Dutch were there. Because of the East Indies, the trade route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Quite a few of them were not really quite discovering Japan, but all of them are almost beginning to, have relations with Japan.
Yeah, because of the trading opportunities that could come with it. But I think it took a while for Japan to open up to trading. I think that was during the uh, Edo. Was it during
Mm.
the Edo period? What's
It looked like it looked Edo, but I wouldn't want to like say
yeah?
exactly and be wrong.
One,
But
let me see if I can't find a Wikipedia for that. Because I'm pretty sure it may be during that time period. Give me 1 second. But no, I did enjoy the clips they put out, but I
Mhm.
didn't. Uh, no, 19. No, not that. Shogun TV miniseries. There we go. 1980 miniseries. Here we go. Edo period. Okay, Alaskaman Jeff has given us the Edo period. So it was during the Edo period for that. But I did bring up the miniseries because that's where, because it's based on James Clavell's 1975 novel of the same name.
Mhm.
Yep, there, and the dawn. At the end of Japan's Azuchi Momoyama period and the dawn of the Edo period, or Edo period. I think I'm saying that right. Um, but yeah, who was the
Mhm.
Richard Chamberlain? That's right. Richard Chamberlain was the main guy for that, or Blackstone. But I'll go to the book because the book is where it's based off of. But yeah, it's Shogunate Restoration. Okay, goodness sake. But yeah, there it is. It says the climate mission of the Dutch ship Erasmus. So again, compete with Portugal for Japan and the rest of the lucrative Far East. So it was a competition of trade between those two places. You said it right. Oh, thank you. Well, she speaks Japanese, so I gotta watch myself. Otherwise,
少しだけ。
she will
少しだけ。
she will get very teacher on me, and I gotta be careful. Um,
まあ、
you,
少しだけ話せます。
hi.
I said just a little bit. I
Just a
speak
little.
just a little bit.
What isn't that? Isn't that Sugoshi? Sugoshi?
少し
Sukoshi?
少しだけ. Dake is just.
Just okay.
Goshi is little.
Because
So basically, you're almost like Spanish almost. It's almost backwards. Sugoshi
right.
dake.
Yeah,
Sugoshi dake hanasemasu.
it's like speaking Yoda basically. Because
Almost.
yeah, because I remember I was using Pimsleur is the language learning because there's other ones out there, but it was Pimsleur, and I was trying to learn. There's yeah, there's a whole bunch, but anyway, it is the top of the hour. Kind of get that one out of the way. It is the top of the hour, and so what happens during the time is I set aside some time for me and my guests to promote ourselves, and obviously you have a lot of links. Goodness sake, Lord. But anyway, if the young lady, the LibbyG, would like to promote herself, the floor is yours.
All right. Where do I start? My ex is probably like the biggest thing I got going on,
Mhm.
which is just cyberbullying politicians and my baking and just
Oh,
random
that's
stuff.
right. You do a
And
lot of good baking.
thank you. It's Libertarian Goth, but 0 for the O in Goth because it was taken. And I also have libertariangoth.com, which is my Liberty Apparel site, which is
Mhm.
Liberty Apparel, but with the flavor of the alternative edge style aesthetic.
Mhm.
Then I also have the alternativesovereign.com, which is a music news site from a liberty perspective. And then
Mhm.
my stream itself is the Alternative Sovereign, which
Mhm.
is every Friday at 10:30 p.m. Uh, on X,
Mhm.
Rumble, and YouTube. And
Mhm.
that is not news, music news. That is actual current event news
Mhm.
of whatever's going on, and kind of a libertarian perspective. partially my rants, and I guess partially like a libertarian rant, and just kind of like a chilling with everybody in the chat and
Mhm.
just going off on whatever's going on.
Yeah, you go
Yeah.
off all right. Um, especially with your ex. But yeah. So I probably should look into doing like a link tree or whatever because that's a lot of links. All right. I'm
I have a
just
link
saying.
tree. I
You
have a
have a
link
link tree?
tree.
What?
I do.
I couldn't find it on your. Oh, did you have it on your bio?
It's on my bio. Yeah, it's on my
Ah,
bio.
dang it! I should have got. I took from your old stuff. Oh, it's my fault. That's my fault. All right, I'll try to get that for later because I found
Mhm.
that having a link tree has been a lot helpful for containing all those links. And to be honest, after a
Mhm.
while, it gets so lengthy in that. But
Yeah.
again, her links are down below on both ends, and I'll try to replace that with the link tree later. But there
Mhm.
you go. Again, she streams to X, Rumble, and YouTube because she's just like that. And I'll probably ask a bit about that later. But again, she's wonderful. You know what? The real great thing about other than your makeup stuff is the cookery, because you
Mhm.
do cook for yourself in a sense too, because you use your weight loss
Mhm.
journey and all that stuff and in eating stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it's been interesting because the cake pops are something that I've liked seeing you do, and you sell those. You actually sell
Yeah.
those, yeah. Pretty
Yeah, I have a lot of
interesting.
side hustles. Like I have my store, and then I also sell baked goods. And I've recently taken on, because of Dan Taxationist Theft Berman
Mm.
has blessed me with 39 cases of the Blood of Tyrants energy tea.
Oh,
So I've been trying to get rid of that too. I
oh
haven't really put
wow.
that up on X. I know people kind of wanted that, but yeah, like the baking, for example, that's just a hobby that
Mm.
I did so much of it, and I was like, you know what? Like I know I'm not really going to eat all this because like I'm really picky about what I eat now, like health
Yeah,
wise,
yeah.
and I also find ways to bake things that are okay within my
Reason.
eating.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I started just selling it because I loved it. It's very, I can be artistic with it, especially the cake pops, and
Oh
you have
yeah.
like chocolate molds, and I
Ugh.
really get artistic around Halloween with it because I have skull chocolate molds. Love them.
Yeah, it's been well, and you do more than cake pops too, but
Hmm.
and then Trey says, "I want to try the blood of tyrant so bad." Well, careful, it's not real blood of tyrants. Otherwise, that gets a little cannibalistic right there. Okay, or vampiristic. I
Yeah.
guess it could be both. But yeah, so you always post photos of that,
Hmm.
of you cooking that stuff. But it's always awesome to watch you kind of do that. And I've sort of done my own thing too, but I've done more of like I've been on this. So I've bought myself, like I bought myself a blood
Mm.
pressure monitor. I've been doing pretty much intermittent fasting, and trying to do like more carnivore eating stuff.
Hmm.
But just because I'm getting off topic here, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I gotta do my stuff too, and I gotta stop doing that. But that's why I do this is because I enjoy the conversation. But for my
Yeah.
again, her links are down below on both Rumble and YouTube, and you can always find her stuff on X too. Because you now, the question is though, do you still feel the same way about Elon? There, do you still feel you were a little thirsty for Elon for a while?
Um, that was half shtick, half like serious.
Yeah.
But I do admire a lot of what he does.
Mm,
I really think that he can definitely be a very selfless person, and he has the greatest heart in mind.
mhm,
So like personally, like I admire the guy.
mhm,
I wouldn't say I necessarily thirst after him, but I do think intelligence is attractive, and he's a very smart guy. So I do think that is an attractive trait that he has.
mm. Well, I mean, it was hard to tell when you said, "Yeah, I'd like to have his kids too." I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But
Yeah,
it is what it is. Um,
yeah.
I'm a vampire. Thanks, to Uncle Vlad. Well, your uncle
Mm,
was very, yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, for my again, her links down below. But from my end of things, whether you're on the Rumble side or YouTube side, because I do stream both. If you would mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow. Anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be. I mean, that's a given, regardless. It also helps having other people on, like LibbyG, like Alaska Man Jeff, like Lord of the Ree, like so many others. Again, I've been putting out those appreciation posts, and I've only got 2 more left, but there have been over 260 people on DaraChat over probably less than 2 years at this point when I first started. So all of you, I appreciate and thank you for being on because it's just nice to get to chat about whatever. And I know a lot of people do certain topic things or whatever, but I've proven that for 260 different yeses, that it is possible to speak with just about anybody. So, hey, you want an example? I'm your guy. Basically. I won't take that too to my head though, because really don't want that kind of person. But any help with the engagement factor on either Rumble or YouTube is much appreciated, of course. Okay, gotta click off that, and then this. Of course, I do have a link as well. Uh, this is you can go down my link tree below. You can click on it. It will take you to where you'll see my Twitter X link. I have an email there. I also have a link to Discord, but it's mostly just for DMing. I do not have enough mental bandwidth to do a server because I'm sorry. It's just not enough time in the day. You all right there?
Yeah, I was just checking my phone and just like I dropped it. Sorry.
I was like, bang, she's banging over there. It's like a musical. But again, also my Rumble and YouTube links are there too. Again, you can find all the stuff there. Also, another one of the things is that while I am still part of Rumble's creator program till the end of the month, because I won't be continuing that, I also am part of Proton's partner program. So if nobody knows what Proton is Proton Mail, Proton VPN, Proton Pass, all that sort of stuff. They've been doing it for quite a bit, and I do have some free things to use like Mail and VPN. But this time I am promoting the Proton Pass, which is their own password manager. There's a lot of password managers out there, but this is Proton's own called Proton Pass. I use it on a daily because it's good to have all your things in one place and highly protected too. Although nothing is 100%, but they're very high on that regard, and they do a bunch of different things. But a few of the things are is it allows you to use an alias email. So like if you sign up for some sort of benefit for whatever on a website, you can use an alias email that will direct whatever this website gives emails to you through that. But if the website gets a little spammy or something like that, you can just shut it off and you won't get anything more because they don't have your actual email. They have that email that's the alias. They also have integrated 2FA or two-factor authentication. I'm glad I could say that right this time. And so much more. But again, the link is there. You get a discount with it if you do. I can make money off it, but it's really just more of promoting a benefit because I use it. I know what the benefits are, and I'd rather pass those benefits off to many people who are worried about all those, like you see in the news, like the password breaches at a company or whatever. This Proton is very good about it. They even go look through the dark web. I think you have to sign up for their higher ones, but they go through the dark web on your seeing if your passwords got out there because passwords, data brokers, all that stuff. That's how scammers get like to send you spam stuff is because they buy that data from those data brokers. Looking at you, Google. But again, you can go to the link below. Just trying to promote a benefit. If you don't want to, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's what I'm trying to do. And so far, I haven't had to do anything restrictive or anything like that. They haven't given me anything like this is what you're supposed to do. They just recommend, but I'm glad I'm still there. So there's that. Proton to my base, but a special character, so I used. I'm not sure why. I felt it was cursing what it made. Oh, good lord. Hey, Sergeant Wookie, how are you? Glad to see you, sir. But there's one more thing I'm gonna do before we go back to things, and that is at this moment, I am until Friday. I am I have put out the question of the month on Twitter X. And what I've tried to do with that, and so the survey stuff, is try to collect feedback, um, people's feedback on Rumble on certain things. Like the question of the month is, what one thing could Rumble do to make your content creation easier on the platform? I know a lot of people have their issues, a lot of people have other things, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to collect your feedback. I compile it and I turn it into clear visuals for people to see. So if you were to go into my highlights tab on my Twitter X, you would see where all that data stuff is at. Um, I know people don't like the word data very much, but it is trying to get to show that there are people who may have similar issues, and also putting it out there for transparency, because Rumble's not the greatest for some point. So, but any if you've already done it, thank you. If you haven't, you have until Friday. Again, I appreciate all who've done it, and I'm doing it because I want to help you guys out. So, and it's not just for me; it's for all of you. That's why I'm doing it. So there's that. I can hear you, by the way. It's like you're fiddling with something over there. And I was just like, what's she trying to do over there? That's okay. But yeah, I mean, I know you have your store. I know you do actually your store is full of all your stuff, like all the
Mhm.
actually, are you putting out another calendar this year?
I haven't started shooting yet, but I will be doing another calendar. Yes.
Mm. Are you still gonna do it yourself, or are you gonna have a professional shooter?
No, no, I'm doing it all myself. It's so much cheaper that way. Like I'm so frugal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
got a tripod and like a little Bluetooth remote. You can actually see the remote in some of the photos in the calendar. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of like hidden behind the hand or something like that. I've
yeah.
seen some people do that. But I mean, saves you money, but I mean, I don't think people are complaining about it.
No, no, no. I've had lots of requests about it, but I just haven't been able to start it yet. But
Oh,
it's gonna happen. It will be released. Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna do the calendar again. But then again, it's like September 1st is on Monday, so like time is running out, but it also
yeah.
still have time at the same time.
There you go. Well,
Hmm.
how long did it take you to do last time? Like just the photo taking?
I took maybe 3 days worth of photos
Oh,
and put it all together. Like I'm pretty fast about just kind of throwing things together if I
mhm,
can.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, it was just the most nerve wracking part of it was the fact that there were so many photos because it's almost like you could make a flip book of them.
yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, you just kind of have to like click, click, click. Just like make a little another pose, click, click. It's a little
Mhm,
nerve wracking,
right.
but it's definitely it's fun at the same time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if that makes any sense, yeah.
yeah. A lot of people like it. But you've only is have you done? Is it one or two you've done so far?
Just one
Or
calendar.
just the one? Okay. I thought you did another one. I was like, oh, I
Mm-mm.
couldn't
No,
remember.
what it was is that I used some of the pinups that I didn't use in the calendar and some that I did use in the calendar
Mhm.
for additional merch
Oh.
like canvases. I think I have a T-shirt, two
Mhm.
T-shirts, I think, from some of the pinup photos.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think I saw a poster once, and then
Hmm.
of course you signed some of them like a special edition,
Hmm.
and you probably
Yeah.
charge. Sorry.
Oh no, no. Like I did have a signed poster that was eBayed off because I only had the one poster,
Mhm.
and I did include signed photos with all of the autographed calendars.
Mhm.
It's weird saying autograph because I don't see myself as anything that's like, yeah. I signed some calendars and I
Mhm.
gave some signed photos with every signed calendar. Um, so yeah, I was flattered, so flattered that people even wanted a signed calendar. I'm like, I gotta come up with some sort of like thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I'll probably do that again too because people really wanted it last year, so I'll do it again probably this year too, or this
Uh,
calendar.
and obviously it made you some money. So I mean, why would you? You
Mhm.
can't really, unless it makes you comfortable. You wouldn't really couldn't. It's hard to say no to that sort of thing unless it makes you uncomfortable, which is understandable.
It's not that it makes you uncomfortable. It's just that I really I feel like maybe I'm made to be a bigger deal than I am. Like, and it's very flattering. I'm very
Mhm,
thankful for everybody that like follows me on X and
mhm.
takes the time to even reply to any of my posts. I'm just really um,
Yeah.
I'm just really thankful for everybody that uh, puts up with me. So
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way to say it. But yeah.
Right, and you have you've activated your subscriber thing on your X, I believe, and that's where people get
Mhm. Yeah, that's
that
usually a little bit more extra like pinup stuff. I don't do nudie stuff. I'm classy.
yes,
Yeah.
classy. Well, it I can't remember. There was someone I had on who did try to go for this the Suicide Girls, I think it's called
I
SG.
did I tried
Well,
also.
there was someone else, but yeah, you as well. And
Yeah.
while you can go that R18 route, they do have women who do very pin-up-y sort of
Mhm.
like those type of photos. Although I don't know if they're still around much because that's like, I mean, it's you have a lot of women that would do it, but yeah, still
They're still around, but I made more money on my calendar than they would have paid me for a single set. And for
that's
their
true.
set, I would have had to have actually have gone nude. And my calendar is pinup only. It's
Mm,
not nude. It's all
mhm,
like classy, like
yeah.
pinup. Whereas their stuff is classy pinup, but it is you were required to be nude by the end of the set. And they would have only have
Uh,
given me like a fraction of what I made on my
mm,
calendar. So
yeah, it's a much sometimes it's better to be indie than depend on a business, but that also
yeah.
runs into the tax stuff, and those are always
Mm,
fun every year.
yeah.
Um, what am I
But
texting again?
um my stomach's starting to hurt.
Oh, okay, so you want to get
Yeah,
start going? No,
yeah,
that's fine.
probably need to go. That's why I'm sitting
No,
here just cringing. I'm like, I'm trying to be like polite, but it's just like,
that's why you said that. I'm glad you say something because I didn't want to like keep you here if you didn't feel well because
no,
I know you said that
it's fine.
yesterday. But
Yeah.
no, again, her links again for all those there. Her links are down below.
Hmm.
So give her a look, and if she's worth a follow, why not? And again, thank you, chat, also for being here, and of course, thank
Yeah.
you, LibbyG, for coming back on. I
Yeah.
know
Thank you.
um try to it does you are a busy lady, you got your own life to go,
Mm,
so I'm always appreciative when we can do this because you
yeah.
are wonderful in your own right, pretty,
Thank
but
you.
you already got enough people slobbering over you for that, so I kind
Like I
of
said, I think I made a bigger deal than I think I am. But yeah, I'm sorry. Like I'm just pacing out like this, like my stomach. Like I think maybe I have like a bug that's making like everything I eat is just after a while. Because that's
yeah,
the first thing I ate like all day was like before I got on, and it's starting to bother my stomach, and then I have a headache. So it's like
yeah,
I'm sorry.
sinus,
I'm sorry.
yeah, you're like no, you're like
Everything.
you're pretty much it's time to go. So like you're closing time basically at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good your singing is, but we're not going to go there. But anyway, again, links are down below. Oh, and thank you for that, SFP. Thank you for that. If only you knew. Well, I mean, yeah, but there are many other people doing that as well, so you kind of have to hold back. But anyway, again, that's right. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern is the 70th Pay It Forward stream. That's right. 69 was the last one, but nobody else made the joke, so oh well. But this time around is the 70th, and then of course at 8 p.m. Eastern will be my guest, Lost Art of Common Sense. They've been on before, but only one of them was. But I'm hoping both will come on because uh, they're two different guys. So there is that. But anyway, again, 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Guests will be on at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And of course, as always, we're not gonna do the other stuff because the questions I had because she has to get going and I don't want
I'm
to keep her
sorry.
very long. Oh, you're all right. Don't worry about it. But anyway, I end the show as always with One Day with You by Pogo, and don't forget to mute your mic because you kind of unmuted yourself and I could hear you. So just be careful of that. Um, but anyway, One Day with You by Pogo. Hope to have you all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for the 70th Pay It Forward stream. Thank you all for being here, and thank you as well, Libby G. Love you
I'm
all.
sorry.
No, you're right.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Bye.